Hello comrades and welcome to today's convention. Our topic for today is the unjust censoring and removal of a fan mod on popular modding sites GameBanana and Loverslab. But before we get into today's topic, I shall petition you to please like and subscribe for more videos on anime, games, and more like this. Now without further ado, let's get on with the topic. With the release of Fire Emblem Engage, a portion of the fanbase has been unsatisfied with the censorship of the romantic text of multiple characters from romantic and platonic to just friendly or even general dialogue. Due to this disappointment, a fan called Chris1010 decided to make a mod changing parts of the English text to reflect what the Japanese actually says in-game. This mod is not fully complete, but still changes all S supports and S wake-ups, all Enna Rosado and Lewis supports, and more things you can see here on screen. To reiterate, all this mod does is change localized text to more closely reflect the Japanese text, effectively uncensoring most of the game's dialogue, and that is all. While the site's moderation staff saw this mod as a very heinous mod that needed to be removed. Presumably on the 4th, the moderators forced the creator to remove their latest update, version 1.2. that of which changed the English of Anna's dialogue along with other characters to reflect the Japanese already in the game. The rule used to remove the work was cited under Rule 13 of their site that states content may be withheld or trashed and members gagged or banned at the sole discretion of top-level site admins. This rule is used in specific cases where when no other rule is appropriate. Obviously a very vague rule to help them moderate fringe cases at their own discretion without overstepping their bounds on fairness. But the application of this rule on this harmless mod is an overstep of the moderation where they use this rule to remove something they just didn't like. That sets a bad precedent for mods going forward, because now if you post something a high-up moderator just happens to dislike, they have the power to just remove your work and cite this bogus rule whether the work follows their guidelines or not. GameBanana, after removing the update to the mod, goes on to post their justification. They first stated that they're respecting the wishes of the developers who, when translating the game, decided not to depict certain romantic relationships. For a mod hosting website, this is the most ridiculous statement ever. Mods exist to modify content of a complete and shipped game to the audience's liking, whether or not the mod supports the dev's vision. If mods were made to respect a dev's decision, 90% of mods just wouldn't exist. After more backlash from the community on both the comments for the mod and on Twitter, they added to their justification. Here they explained that the original Japanese version of Engage has romantic relationships between characters of ambiguous age, and after examining the files, people found that one of the relationships is between a 12 and 18-year-old. The devs of the US release removed this dialogue, and GameBanana sides with the devs. They then say they don't wish to host a mod that conveys a relationship between an adult and a child. And they say the US devs made these changes so the game wouldn't get banned. Well, that was a lot of incorrect info there. Firstly, the age of the main character Alier is colloquially presumed 17 before sleeping for 1,000 years, and the child in question, Anna, is 11. And secondly, there is no evidence that supports the game would have been flat-out banned if they didn't change this dialogue interaction. At worst, the game's rating could have been placed higher, but considering the content listed in ESRB's own summary of the rating, it would most likely be okay to ship as is and still hit AT for teen rating. To end this section, I want to mention that there were apparently leaked Discord messages from the moderators of the site talking about the situation. I'm not going to go over them because it's kinda pointless, since it's just the mods talking affirmatively of their decision, then demonizing and generalizing the people who are upset. But here are the screenshots if you want to read them. Now there's also another site to address that was worse at handling the situation than GameBanana, that being Loverslab. They stealth removed the mod without notifying the creator. They then finally gave a response stating the mod got reported and removed due to it containing a romantic relationship with 10-year-olds and an adult, and that the mod also got removed from another site for the same reason. That site obviously being GameBanana, given that was the only other site to remove the mod. In the case of Loverslab, They are very hypocritical with this stance given the site currently hosts the lowly mods for Skyrim, which this is entirely known by the moderators given this message from an admin named Ashel where she justifies it by saying she doesn't picture it as a child so it's okay but if you do it's a problem. So a lowly sex mod for Skyrim is okay as long as you picture it as a short adult, but if you accurately translate the purely platonic text between a preteen and a 17-year-old it's the worst thing ever. Loverslab's hypocrisy must be boundless. All in all, the accurate translation mod is still available for download elsewhere. These two modding platforms have really gone mask off and shown how they are scared of getting cancelled. So they'll from now on censor anything localizers, SJWs, and other groups alike support. So if you want to post a mod without fear of it being censored or removed, your best bet is anywhere but these sites. Per usual, people against the uncensoring of the Anna scene claim that everyone who wants it in the game are child lovers, but that's not the case. We just want to experience the game in its correct form without someone telling us this is bad and you can't interact with it. We should be allowed to consume this less than moral fantasy content and make up our minds on our own without someone forcing their judgment down our throat. Thanks for watching. All related links will be in the description below, along with a link to the Uncensored patch. Now I want to ask you, the viewer, do you support the removal of this mod? Why or why not? Is there something I missed or got wrong and needs to be corrected? Please let me know below in the comments. Just please be respectful when you do so. I'm Alexandra Vladimirovna, and I wish you all a good day. Take care.